Live from the Bob Levy Broadcast Center overlooking the Toms River, it's time to get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Be a part of the show, 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Oh my God, I should have known that. It's Friday, June 3rd. It's 6:09, 63 degrees, get up to 69 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pup app at WOBMAM.com, 732-505-1160. I should have known today was National Donut Day because when I went this morning to get my coffee and bagel, they offered me a free donut. And I said no at Dunkin' Donuts. And now, thank you to Obco over on Fisher Boulevard, who has now brought us donuts. And I am eating this unbelievably ridiculous donut that will make me want to nap in the second hour of the show. So I'm pretty excited about that. I will not be napping now, though, with our next guest. She is Bonnie Delaney. She is with the Friends of Island Beach State Park. And we are going to talk about all the awesome stuff happening at Island Beach State Park. So good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning.
How are you today? You ready for this? You ready? You psyched?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm psyched.
So why don't you tell us a little bit, first of all, about the Friends of Island Beach State Park. Tell us a little bit about what is that organization all about?
Well, 20 years ago, a group of people got together and decided to form a nonprofit Friends group. So this is our 20th anniversary, and the idea was it was people who loved going to Island Beach, who had ties to Island Beach, lived near Island Beach, and wanted to assist in bringing that a great experience to others. They wanted people to learn more about Island Beach. So it's a nonprofit, and over the past 20 years, we've bought beach grass and planted it to help replenish the dunes. We've installed an osprey cam, which is about 4 years old, 3 years old now. So visitors, people who can watch the osprey cam live on via their computer. We have a Beach Plum Festival. This year it will be the 19th annual Beach Plum Festival with craft vendors, beach plum plants, beach plum picking, beach plum ice cream, which Sundays of South Toms River makes for us every year. We will be a part of the Barnegat Bay Festival on Sunday.
Okay. Cool. All right. So hold on. So Osprey Cam. I'm interested now. So like what kind of fun things? I mean, I don't want to blow it for anyone, right? But what kind of fun things do the Osprey do while I'm watching them? Because I used to watch like The Real World, right? And then I watched like what was it called? Big Brother 2 or Big Brother. Remember that? Where you watch people and so is that kind of like that? Do they kind of fight and do they talk about each other's excessive drinking or what do they do? They
do not fight unless they're battling for a nest.
Okay.
But ospreys mate for life.
Right.
And they'll take a new mate if the old mate doesn't return. But they come to the Jersey Shore and to the East Coast every spring, and they mate. And you can watch them mating.
You can watch them mating?
Yes, you can. You can watch them mating on the nest.
Now, is this appropriate for children? I'm just curious because I don't.
Can't see anything.
I have to be.
So lots of wings flapping.
I have to be very careful. You know, we put Net Nanny on all of our computers so that the kids can't see anything inappropriate. And I'm concerned that this Osprey thing is gonna slide through the cracks. And next thing you know, I'm gonna barge in on my kids watching the Osprey mating, and that scares me.
It's better than watching dogs mating.
That's all I gotta say. Wow, that's thank you, Zach. Zach really is working on his sound effects. That's a good point. Okay. All right. So we'll move along from Osprey Cam because that sounds like too much. So how did you get involved in this organization? I mean, this is has this always been a passion for you? Are you a big Island Beach fan? Were you always was that always your spot?
I've always gone to Island Beach ever since I was a kid. My relatives had one of those little bungalows in Midway Beach, right outside of Island Beach. And we'd always go into the park and go crabbing and fishing, clamming in the bay. So I started going when I was a young kid. When I was after I got out of college and began working for a newspaper.
Right. Which we're not going to mention.
No,
the newspaper,
which I no longer work for.
Right.
I covered plane crashes there at Island Beach, whales washing up on shore. There was a time when bales of hashish washed up on the beach, and I had to go into the park by foot because they weren't allowing anyone in vehicles to go in. And I happened to run into my elementary school principal, who was the early morning maintenance supervisor.
Wait.
Right.
Wait.
Yeah. My former elementary school.
And what was he doing with the hashish?
He worked at Island Beach. That was his summer job. He spent his summers in Seaside Park and at Island Beach.
So this was a good score then.
No. But he gave me a ride.
Right. Okay.
And what I'm getting at is he gave me a ride.
Just so I'm clear, the hashish was prior to Osprey Cam, right? Because
yes.
That could have been fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I mean
that's true.
I've never seen osprey mating while on hashish. I'm just saying.
You never know. The
That's
ospreys
true.
could have picked up some of that hashish
some
too.
Crazy animals. Anyway, so go ahead. So go ahead.
But I also happened to have friends who always went there, and relatives who actually, extended relatives, family, who had one of the leased shacks, one of the hunting, fishing shacks. So we used to go to the shack all the time, and and had our 4-wheel drive pass and went fishing. So throughout my whole life, many different ages, I've been at Island Beach. I was asked to be on the board back in 2012, 2013, and I served a year on the Board of Friends of Island Beach. I was the corresponding secretary, which I still am, not corresponding, recording, so I got to take the notes and work on a bunch of different projects.
You know that it is generally believed that the most powerful position on any board is recording secretary. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
It's true, because unless you put it in the notes, it didn't happen.
I tend to take very long notes.
Well, I'm sure, and you could embed whatever little things you want to. You could, there could be things that if read backwards give a secret message or something like that. There's all kinds of stuff that you could do.
I've gotten yelled at
for your copious
I'm only
notes.
supposed to write certain things, and I was like, no.
Is that because of your background in the newspaper business?
Yes.
That you're used to writing, being comprehensive in your writing?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So we are up against the break. So we have the background now. We've kind of laid it out there, right? We got everybody. By the way, is there a website where I could see Osprey Cam, just so people, while they're listening, they could be watching the Osprey?
Yes. If they go to the Friends of Island Beach State Park.org,
right,
it'll bring you up to the website, and you can click on Watch the Ospreys.
Okay, good. So what I would recommend if you're at home right now is you're going to friendsofislandbeachstatepark.org, right? Watch the Osprey Cam, and then when we come back, we're going to talk more about some cool stuff that's happening at Island Beach State Park. Cool? Everybody with me? Good. Bonnie Delaney, Friends of Island Beach, back after this.
Rush Limbaugh today at noon. More Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin coming up next. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
All right, check it out. It's friendsofibsp.org, right? And you can watch the Osprey. And the Osprey is like, it does some, cool things. It does some there's action. There's action. You don't know what's going on. There's these 3 eggs that they're about to hatch, and you want to be there for it.
It's a live feed.
It's live. It's live, Zach. It's live. Anyway. All right. So Bonnie, tell me about this. Now, so am I correct? So Island Beach State Park, is that a big tourist destination, or is it more like a local spot?
It's both.
Okay.
It's both. Actually, the state bought it back in the 50s from the Phipps, the wealthy.
Oh, the Phipps. That's a name
right.
of people?
Yeah, Phipps.
Oh, okay.
Phipps family bought it, had owned that piece of property. And that the national park, they wanted to turn it into a national park, but there wasn't any money for it. And eventually, the state of state of New Jersey was able to buy that property, and they wanted to preserve it as a natural barrier island beach with, minimal, no development per se. And actually, the Phipps heirs kicked in $1 million as long as it was going to be preserved that way. So back when they first started charging $1 admission to enter the park, they had 400 visitors. Now there are more than 1 million visitors a year that come through the gates of Island Beach.
Wow. Yeah, but I think that's the spot. Like Zach, when you go to the beach, although you go to you're down in LBI, that area, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right. So people around here go to the beach though. Island Beach is kind of the place to go, right? It's like,
if you're not going to Seaside Heights, you might as well go to Island Beach.
Exactly. All right.
So
let's talk about what we got going on here. Tomorrow is Terrapin release day. Now, I don't know a lot, but I think that has to do with turtles, right?
Correct. Those are the northern diamondback terrapins.
Okay.
And
what does that mean, release?
They, Project Terrapin and Dr. John Wennick from the MATES program.
Right.
They raise terrapins. Well,
yes.
There are eggs out on the Sedge Islands, but what they do is they have some of the eggs. They try to keep them from being, eaten by fox and gulls. And they do have a terrapin in the classroom project where schools get some, baby terrapins, and they have them in tanks and let them grow so they're big enough so they're not eaten up by other things. But anyway, they release them back into the bay where they will live and grow and.
Okay, cool. So we're releasing them tomorrow.
Right. Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. So that's something and so I can come and watch that.
Yes. The kids from MATES, the students will talk about what they do and talk about the northern diamondback terrapins. Okay. And then they will. You'll go from the Nature Center at Island Beach down to A21, where you walk down the path, and you'll go to the bay, and they will release all these tiny little terrapins.
Cool. Then June 16th, summer starts, and then there's lifeguards there, right? Because prior to that, there's no lifeguards?
Correct.
Okay, got it. And then
lifeguards are there now on weekends only.
Right, okay. So then we go through and we're like beach, habitat. And then in August, we have Harvest the Bay Festival.
Correct.
And that is what?
That is a program the state started a couple of years ago to teach people about what can be harvested from the bay, which are crabs and clams and mussels and
horses, hoops, bulls, bears, elephants, and lions.
But they'll take people out seining, show them what lives in the bay, and, as well as fish.
So it's an educational day.
Yeah, it's an educational day, but there will be food and music.
Of course. Well, you can't learn.
You'll be tasting what's harvested from the bay.
I can't learn if I'm not eating and whatever. Okay.
Right.
And then go ahead.
I was going to say, in between all that, those are some of the
those are
public
big festivals. Yeah.
Bigger programs. But every day starting in the summer, there is something to do at Island Beach. There are kayak tours.
Right.
There are moonlight walks and campfires, full moon walks.
Nice. Okay. Well, this sounds like fun. Listen, Bonnie, when we get back, we're gonna have to wrap this up. When we get back, we're gonna talk about a few other things, but I'm also gonna give you your magic wand to make an impact, right? And so you got to think about that, right? But I'm just interested to learn because this is my learning for Vince Barnegat Bay Festival weekend. Right, it's like we're talking about Island Beach State Park. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, dropping some knowledge on you about the Jersey Shore. Back after this.
The news is next, live from the WOBM Newsroom, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 6:34, Friday, June 3rd. 63 degrees, getting up to 69 and rainy today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160. We are here with Bonnie Delaney, Friends of Island Beach State Park. So, Bonnie, tell me about this visitor's guide, because it's pretty, it's very shiny.
Yes. Each year, the Friends of Island Beach publishes a visitor guide, and this year we revamped it, and one of our very talented board members, who is a graphic designer, Jen Husar, she's responsible for all of that nice work, and we had some awesome photos by photographers Kevin Knutson and Ray Hallgreen. And we're very fortunate that we received a grant from the Ocean County Board of Freeholders. So it's funded in part by a grant from the Board of Chosen Freeholders. You can check out more at www.oceancountytourism.com, which also helps us promote events at Island Beach.
Right. So, Beach Plum Festival. Are beach plums like actual plums? Do they taste like plums?
They are plums. They are actual plums, but you wouldn't eat them raw. Although animals do. The red foxes of Island Beach eat beach plums. Some of the birds, some of the other critters. Yeah. But you need to boil them. You need to cook them and add some sugar.
Oh, because they're kind of tart?
Yes.
So beach plum ice cream is tart?
No. Beach plum ice cream is not tart. It's made with beach plum juice.
Okay.
It's prepared, and Sundays of South Toms River happens to make the ice cream for us every year.
Wow. And
we will be having beach plum muffins also.
Oh, I love that. Sounds really good. I love muffins. Do you eat just the top or the whole muffin?
Yeah, I eat the whole thing.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. And so we can also, just so I'm clear, at Island Beach, we could also go kayaking.
Yes.
Right? Can we sup in Island Beach State Park?
Yes, you can, in the bay.
We can sup in the bay. Wow, this sounds like this is the place to be. All right, listen, I'm thumbing through this here visitor's guide, which is very nice, but Bonnie, I'm tired of you trying to avoid the real question here, which is, what are you going to do with the Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin magic wand, the magic pixie dust, the fairy dust, the ability to just wiggle your nose and make something change? Bonnie Delaney, Friends of Island Beach State Park, what are you doing with said wand?
I would try to get everyone in New Jersey to visit Island Beach to see what our beaches looked like hundreds of years ago.
Okay.
And hopefully impart in them that this is the kind of thing we want to protect and preserve.
Right. So wait, just so I'm clear, you're saying, first of all, there is no try with the magic wand, because that's the whole beauty of a magic wand. It just happens. It's like being president of the United States. You get to do whatever you want, right? So when you have the magic wand, you just wave it and things happen, okay? So you wouldn't have to try. People would just come. But what you're saying is that if people want to see what a beach and what a park is supposed to look like, you are throwing down the gauntlet today and saying that Island Beach State Park is that place.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's a special place. It's often been called the jewel in the crown of New Jersey state parks, and it definitely is.
Right.
I'd also get people to contribute to the Friends, and so that we can continue to help the park and
right.
enhance the visitor experience there.
Right.
Especially with our Osprey Cam.
Oh my God! I'm telling you what, Zach? Do we have an update on the Osprey Cam? You haven't been watching it.
He's still just kind of chilling.
Is he still pecking at the eggs?
He's like pecking at some hay or something.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just concerned. I don't want
no hatching yet.
Those eggs should be hatching.
I'm telling you,
any minute.
I think that would be really groundbreaking radio if somehow we could
imagine
do
live
the play-by-play of the osprey eggs hatching. Wouldn't that be epic? All right. So Bonnie Delaney, Friends of Island Beach State Park. I want to give the website again, which is friendsofibsp.org. And for those of those that don't know how to get to Island Beach State Park, let's say you've been living under a rock, right, or Iran, while you are here at the Jersey Shore. You're telling me I pretty much just go, I go over the bridge, right, and I head past Seaside Park as far as I could go, and there we are.
Correct. You can't miss it.
Okay.
Just keep going.
Now, are there any cool things, like do you have Wi-Fi on the beach?
That is one of the initiatives the Friends are undertaking.
Okay.
To get free Wi-Fi at the two bathing pavilions.
Okay. How about food or beverage anywhere?
There's food and beverage at the two bathing pavilions, and you are allowed to bring in your own food. Alcohol is not allowed.
What if it's brown bagged? What if it's hidden in a Snapple bottle?
It's still not allowed, but
I mean, not that anybody would ever do that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Just saying. However, there are plans. The food vendor is Jim Miller, who has Jimmy's Cucina in Brielle.
Right.
He's the food vendor at the pavilions, and they are working on getting the Red Fox Tiki Bar. At Pavilion 1. I don't know when or how long it will take to get all the approvals, but there is a plan.
Well, so these are all things that can be further perpetuated by making the appropriate donation to the Friends of Island Beach State Park. Bonnie Delaney, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning. I know it's a big weekend for you between the Terrapin release, between the Barnegat Bay Festival. It's going to be, this is where it all begins, isn't it, Bonnie? This is where it all starts.
Yes, it is.
And we want to thank you for starting your weekend here with Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. We will be back with more of our fantastic show right after this.